Okay, dude.
All right, dude.
First episode of What the Pell. Yeah, we got Seth here. For me, I think I'm gonna keep this thing like just super casual, not really huge intro, like
Yeah.
running through like, comment, subscribe. I think I'm just gonna keep it like we'll just roll right into it. So we'll go with who are you, man? What
Seth,
do you do?
Oh, I've answered this question to you.
Yeah, we've gone through this one.
I'm Seth. I'm a multimedia social media platform influencer. I do fashion content. I'm not an influencer. I hate that word. So, yep. Do you often look at the camera? Or?
No, I just look at you.
Okay.
Every once in a while, if I have something smart. I haven't done this very many times. This is like
this is weird.
This is like the second time actually working, third time in general doing it. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I do fashion content. That's what I do. I have trouble not looking at the camera.
Just look at me.
Yeah,
just talk to me, man.
Yeah, man.
So what does that involve? Like, what if I met you on the street, what would you tell me you did?
I often tell people if they ask me on the street, I just say like I do fashion content on TikTok and Instagram.
So it's mostly social media.
Yeah. It's, and if I'm really like, if it's like an old person that asks me on the street, when you run into those old people. Oh, yeah. What do you know? I just work online.
I work at H&M.
Yeah. Yeah, I work at H&M.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
that's cool. How'd you get into that? Like, how'd that start?
You want to start with my humble beginnings, probably?
Yeah, let's start birth. Let's go to birth. Yeah,
from the little baby Seth,
baby.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be good.
Little uterus.
We're gonna have to they're gonna have to throw the explicit on this thing.
Oh, I'm not gonna swear. I don't think. I'm gonna try not to.
Okay.
Are we allowed to say explicit things though?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it YouTube, the first 5 minutes you try not to swear in? Like it kills, like the algorithm picks it up. Something like that. I heard that, but I don't know if that's true. So.
I don't know if that's true.
Dang. Okay. Well,
that'd be interesting.
We already hooped that, so.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. We'll see if we can't get you canceled by the end of this.
Oh, buddy. There's so much out there on me already.
Yeah. So how'd you get started?
I got started. When I was in. A lot of people don't actually know this about me, but I went to Bible school after high school. Like right after high school.
About the Lord, baby.
I learned about the Christ.
The Christ.
I went.
Which Bible?
What?
Which Bible? Like Quran?
No,
the holy
book.
Oh, cool. I need to respect everyone, right? So
yeah, but I don't think they call it the Bible in other religions.
Do they not? That's actually a good question.
It's called the Quran, and it's called the.
So the Bible is just the Bible. I actually didn't even think about that until right now.
Yeah.
And the Quran would just be the Quran.
There's the Quran.
Okay.
Like Catholicism is the Bible as well, but like that's just a branch under Christianity, right?
Okay. Dang, that was probably really dumb to say. Then there's probably some people out there like, this guy's a real well, it's the thought that matters. Anyways,
absolutely. Yeah, I went there. Went to Denver, Colorado. Did YWAM, Youth with a Mission.
In Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado, man.
Is that where the Lord's strong?
That's
strongest.
The Lord is the strongest out there, dude.
Nice. High altitude. You're closer to heaven, dude.
I'm close to Christ.
Yeah, man. Dang.
Yeah, man. I went there. I did 3 months of like in school learning where you were taught like theory and things like this.
Okay.
And they run like weeks. So sometimes like every week would have a different lesson. Okay. So it'd be like 1 week is like Father Heart of God week.
Okay.
Where you learn about like the Father Heart of God and like what I'm gonna preach, dude.
Do what you want, man. Tell me your
and then like another week would be like Holy Spirit week and like all this stuff. And then I did like mission work in Brazil for maybe like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Brazil, where? Like
I went to Manaus.
Manaus. Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's northern Brazil. It's like right near the Amazon.
Okay.
I swam in the Amazon, dude.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was sick.
That's actually pretty cool.
I was scared though, because if you pee in there, dude.
You can get bacteria, right? Runs back up.
Oh,
Dang.
dude, those fish swim upstream, if you know what I mean. They swim up that little peen of yours.
Mine in particular. Okay.
Yeah, well, they could.
All right.
But they like what they do is like they'll swim upstream, and then once they're in your little pee hole,
Okay.
like,
how he got started.
they expand. So like a puffer fish. Like,
so
and
you
your
can't get
penis
him.
just fucking blows up, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get it out very easily, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I was
I'm
very
good.
scared every time I went in the water.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And then so
After-
Brazil, YWAM.
Yep. Went home after that.
Okay.
Just went home.
No fashion stuff there, or did
No.
you start getting into it yet, or
No,
not really?
no.
High school, you didn't do any?
Started thrifting in high school.
Okay.
But like the whole fashion stuff. When I was in Bible school, I realized that I wanted to be in like the fashion world because I just enjoyed it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can ask like one of my best friends. Okay, I would say my experience at Bible school was not great.
Okay.
And like the program, it wasn't great. But one thing I did take from there is like some solid friendships, and also like I got to see a lot of like the world, you know.
Yeah.
So like cool experiences. Like
So would you say you took influence from those experiences now that like kind of maybe more so when you started, but with fashion and stuff, did going to Colorado or Brazil, did it influence things as you kind of began, or
no,
not really? No,
not really at all. No. No.
No. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't even know what the style is in Brazil.
In Brazil,
if I was to guess,
like,
I'd probably be
Colorado's like really hippie.
Yeah.
Like you're smoking weed, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people are just on acid.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's why the Lord's the highest there.
Yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
Lord is the highest there. Okay, so you came home, and then what'd you get started on?
I got started when I got home. I was like, I need a job.
Okay.
Just gonna move this.
Keep going.
You want me to get it closer or what?
Yeah, just like that's good.
That's
fine.
good.
Yep.
All right. Well, I needed a job, man, because I grew up in a home where my parents were like,
"Yeah,
do something."
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
good. That's good.
So, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I got a job at BP again. I went
At
back
Boston
to work
Pizza.
for Boston Pizza,
Which-
delivered pizzas.
Which is what? Like, what is?
What is Boston Pizza?
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. What are you doing? What kind of place is it?
Boston Pizza is like a sports bar. So you got your wings, your beer. You got the lounge on the one side, the family side on the other. Just like a very classic restaurant, like a sports bar.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty much all we have too in terms of like
Honestly,
bars
dude.
and restaurants like
Yeah.
that are half decent.
What would you compare that to in the States, though, like Boston Pizza?
Well, they have Boston's.
Oh,
Like,
really?
It's just called Boston's in the States, so it's the same thing. I think they actually have some in Mexico too, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that the same guy that owns Boston Pizza that owns Boston's?
I'm not sure if it's the same guy, but it's the same thing. It's like a, I don't know. It's like a family restaurant.
Okay. Yeah, sick, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet.
no, that makes And it's like anyway, so sports bar. I delivered
Yeah.
pizza. I did that for probably like half a year
Okay.
when I came back, and then I was an educational assistant at a school during the pandemic.
Nice. You dealt with the troublemakers.
Yeah, for like 3 months. Oh no, not even for 3 months. Like a month.
Did you enjoy it?
I love so my mom ran a home daycare for 14 years.
Okay.
Out of the home. So that's what home daycare means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home daycare out of the home. Man,
Nice.
Man, they should have put that in the name of the
Little
job.
home
eh?
daycare at my home.
So okay, so then you're an EA.
Then I was a eyewear consultant at Focal Point for a year.
And that's a eyeglasses company.
Yeah, that's like an optical clinic.
So that would almost be your first like kind of step into fashion. Right?
Yeah,
like
that'd be my first
professional
job in the fashion world, but it was mostly dealing with like I was an optical what would they call it? An eyewear consultant. So the doctor would bring me the prescriptions.
Yeah,
it's funny. I just answered this question in a meeting today. The doctor would bring prescriptions. I have to read the prescription and kind of what they need.
Okay.
And then I would go through the lens types with them. What kind of lens thickness? If they need a bifocal, do they want a progressive lens instead of the bifocal? What kind of lens what's your budget? Because if they're expensive,
Yeah,
it's really expensive.
Are you helping them with the frames then yet too? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the frames as well. So like, what kind of frames are you looking for? Okay, we need to like see which one fits your like head and face the best.
Cool.
So you learn all about that.
Sweet.
Which I kind of knew from the frame point of view. I knew.
Yeah.
I had a good understanding of it before I went in. From the lens point of view, nothing. I knew nothing. So
I mean, that would probably be a tough one to know before you're kind of in that. Like how are you going to know which lenses to use? Yeah. Okay, so you're helping people see better.
Yeah, see the world.
Yeah,
we're helping people see Christ.
So we seen the Lord, and then we literally seen shortly after that.
Yeah.
And then from there, what's the next step? You're an EA.
Yep.
After that or before that?
Before that.
Before that, okay.
Yeah.
So you're an EA. You're helping kids.
Now, during this time that I was hopping from job to job, I was still making content.
Okay, like fashion content.
Fashion content, but outside in my garage during the summer. So, like, if you look at my first TikTok, I'm quite literally just outside and like standing in front of my garage because I'm like, all right, I gotta find a white wall somewhere, and my garage is white.
Yeah.
My garage has got a bunch of dings in it from like hockey pucks hitting it.
That's
so
where you
funny.
started.
That's where I started. Yeah.
And were things already building at that point? Like, was your audience starting to
1,000 views and stuff like that?
Wow.
And
what was it? This was TikTok mostly.
Yeah, this was TikTok mostly.
And was this at the kind of the cusp of when TikTok was getting popular?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
So you're riding that wave right off the start.
Riding that wave off the start. And I would always say like if I started doing that now, I would have a really hard time if I didn't do that before. So I got in exactly the right time that I needed to.
You're telling me, man.
to be where I'm at. I'm mostly like right place, right time kind of guy.
Yeah, but that being said, when people say that, it's also there's a lot of people in the world at that same time at the right place who just decide not to do it.
Yeah.
But I guess you just started doing it. Like, what made you start to pump out content on TikTok? Like, did you get maybe a TikTok was one of them did really well, and you're like, oh shoot, I can keep doing this. These are doing decent, 100%. Or yeah.
Like as soon as I saw my first 10K view, I was like, it was like, it's an analogy I like to put it as is like pulling the slots, like the slot machine. Like that adrenaline that you get from winning in slots is like how I felt after like first 10K views. I was like just real excited.
And how old would you have been?
I need to keep chasing this feeling, which is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say how old.
I was 18 or 19.
See, like I'm just thinking that being that young, like that. I'm speaking for myself. That would probably have messed me up a little bit in terms of like expectations.
100%, dude.
Dang. So so you 18, 19, you're working a couple jobs, you're going through it, but you're still pumping out content. It's doing pretty well. The following's growing. From there, what was
from there? John, JR. I'm gonna call him JR.
Yeah, JR. Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because it was only during the summer that I could shoot outside.
You're talking about, just to clarify, you're talking about John Rempel. Right?
Yeah.
So John Rempel is a I don't know. He's like a dad of many kind of guy.
That's my dad.
He's I think his job is the director of the Youth for Christ. But he goes way outside of that scope. And I know, speaking for me, being a little bit older than Seth, he was kind of like my dad. And I know for Seth, he's probably very similar. So a huge, very influential person.
Very, very influential.
And I think for people who are older than me, same sort of deal. So, okay, so JR.
We're gonna call him John now,
now you're gonna call him John. You're gonna switch.
I didn't know.
Oh, I feel like we can.
I feel like we can.
It's nothing bad. So,
but no, John Rempel was like, to this day, man, he is still one of the most influential people in my entire life, and I think will always be that guy.
Yeah. And what kind of,
even if I don't connect with him on a regular basis, he'll always be that guy for me.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to who he is too, because I can totally agree with you on that too, because you can be disconnected for a long time and reconnect with him, and he doesn't make anything of it.
No,
it's like right back to where you were.
Yeah.
Treats you the exact same. You could go to him with messing things up, or you got this, you got that, and you can complain to him, and he treats you the same as if you were doing awesome.
Yeah,
which is awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. He's unreal.
He's unreal.
I'm gonna say awesome about 5 times.
Yeah, he's unreal.
Okay, so what impact did he have, like, kind of on your story there?
So he let me use the youth center inside to shoot content during the winter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I would go straight from work with this orange bucket of clothes, and I was like, John, I need, because I can't shoot downstairs in my house. I got no room at my house. I got a family of 5. Like, my family is 5. I got nowhere to shoot in my house, and it's not summer, so I can't shoot outside anymore. And I still want to create content. I'm like, I can't let the weather be this thing that stops me.
Yeah,
I need to find a place to shoot. And I was like, John, can I use the youth center, like where the ping pong table is and the couches are?
Yeah,
that back wall there to shoot content on.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's do that, and you can just have the key. He gave me a key to the place, and at that time,
you're probably just ratting on him right now. He wasn't probably supposed to do that, and he's just being such a nice guy. You're just throwing him out there. Wait, it's so crazy. Your story and the similarities between yours and mine in terms of that type of thing, very similar in terms of starting training and working out. Same thing. He let me. I'm like, I want to start training, this and that. Let me use the gym in a very similar way.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you started making content in the youth center.
Yeah. And I would go there every day after work with my that smokes. With my orange bucket of clothes.
Okay.
And I'd be there for, I don't know, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Orange bucket of clothes. That sounds like something that really sticks out for you, that you remember that.
Yeah, 110%.
Was this orange bucket gonna?
If I were to start a podcast, it would be called The Orange Bucket.
The Orange Bucket. You should bring it back in your videos.
My orange bucket.
Start putting it in the background. Yeah.
I still have it. Yeah.
Damn, if you're on here again, you need to bring the orange bucket.
I'll bring the orange bucket, dude.
Okay.
Dude, it was really really influential, because I would go to work. This is the reason I also quit my job, because when I was at my work, I wasn't thinking about what I was supposed to be doing during my job hours. I was thinking about content ideas.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would sit down at the table, like eyewear consultant table, sit. Oh no! Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna say I would create ideas and I would write them down at work when there was nothing to do, which is not a good thing. It's not the best, you know what I mean? I could have been doing more things, but that just kind of speaks to like how passionate I was.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, you were getting paid for your job, so maybe you should have been doing your job. But at the same time, it's a lot better than you sneaking off to the bathroom and just sitting on your phone scrolling whatever app.
Because at least you're trying to do something.
Yeah,
I was still there.
Okay.
Because immediately right after that, I would go home, pack the clothes for the video that I just made up in my head and the outfits that I just made up in my at work.
Yeah,
and I'd pack them up and go to the youth center and shoot them and edit them.
That's cool, man. And did you enjoy doing it at that time?
It was a grind, an absolute grind.
Like, it was tough.
Well, yeah, dude. Because like.
So what kept you going? Was it just that kind of almost that slot machine feeling still at that point? Like, I'm going to get another good one?
Another good one. And as soon as I started getting good ones there, I'm like, okay, we got to keep going. And I just kept going, dude, because it was this adrenaline rush that I'd never felt before. Yeah.
Well, good for you for riding that wave too. So you're at the youth center, you're pumping out content, going from work. So when was the transition? You went from doing that to eventually now, I don't think you do that job anymore, as far as I know.
No.
The focal point one, or the eyeglasses one, we should say.
Then, all right, I'm not sure who's gonna listen to this or who's gonna. I'm gonna go through this podcast I'm gonna think that people are listening.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Because like I don't. But what the next thing I'm about to say is I moved. I moved into my ex-girlfriend's mom's house.
Okay.
And I shot content in a room there, dude. I had a little corner and I kept shooting content there. So I was always constantly moving places where I shot content because I was just that constant slot machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody tell you to stop?
No.
No? Good. That's awesome.
Did anybody
you must have had good people around you.
I had people that were just scared to, tell me. Or I just wouldn't listen.
Good for you, man.
My parents were often like, "What are you doing?" Like, actually, though.
Yeah.
Like, they had a lot of doubt. But as soon as the money kind of started coming in, it was like, okay.
Then you were good.
Okay. It's working now. And this is what you do for a job. And they have to explain that to their friends that that's what I do for a job. And sometimes it's really hard for them to explain to their adult friends that I am a content creator on the internet for a job.
Yeah, and I think, but that being said, I think there's a lot of people, myself included, and I need to always catch myself when I talk about this, because it's sometimes it's kind of like you're pretending to do it as you're doing it.
Yeah.
So someone like me, you do have a massive following, and you do have some credibility and a substantial like backing behind you. But I think a lot of people who get into it and they're at the start, they're like, oh, everybody does they don't believe in me and they don't do this. And it is kind of one of those situations where because you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Where you've built it up despite that. You built it up to the point now you can actually probably be one of those people who is like, if I was to come along and say, hey, Seth, what are you doing, man? Like, you're wasting your time. You can probably be pretty comfortable with saying, I'm good, thanks.
I'm good.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is really cool to see. I don't think people see that a lot. I think the majority of people, they see the person who's maybe in a position like I am, where I'm starting to make content, I'm starting to produce content, but I'm talking as if, hey, believe in me. It's like, well, you got to give me a reason to believe in you.
Right.
Where you're at the point now where you're like, hey, I don't need you to believe in me. Right. I don't need you to talk shit either, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I've built, and take a look, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Which that's cool. To me, that's very cool, because it's I don't think a lot of people get to actually see that, and I get to actually be your friend. I think
you're my friend.
We get to hang out and do stuff like this, which is really cool, and I get to pick your brain. We get to make YouTube stuff together. I get to watch you make stuff even on TikTok and be like, oh, I know that guy. That's really cool. So it is removed. I don't know if a lot of people get to actually do that. So I'm lucky for that.
Well, I'm on the other side where I get to like see you like start, and I'm like, for me personally, when I look at you and you're starting your content and all your stuff is super, super high quality, which is incredible to begin with, to start off with that. Like, I didn't start off with a high quality, like you started off with a camera, you got a great setup. I started off with my iPhone 7, but like seeing somebody that works and like really puts a lot of time into that is really inspiring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's different too. Like, I can't say that it's all me either. Like, there's the guy who edits the videos, Zach.
Yeah.
He does a big chunk of it. I mean, I'm in the videos, and I'm I might be buying the camera or buying this, but he definitely has his own camera. He has his own ability. He's great at editing. If anybody needs an editor, he's great at it. I mean, you know him.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of the people that I'm surrounded by too, you included, like in terms of different ideas. I remember the one day, and I'm always, I get better at it, but I always need to think on it. I think you had said the one day, what about color grading or something like that?
Yeah.
And I'm always, I tighten up because I'm like, I don't know what that is, but advice from different people, if I can take it, then I'm just lucky, like in terms of starting out, like you said, with decent quality content.
Yeah.
Even though it's not massive or anything like that, I'm just lucky that I'm around good people.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first told you about color grading, I remember first telling you about that, dude.
I remember. You know what it is, though? You know what it is? It's one of those things where you're trying so hard, like it's so new and so fresh. That you're trying so hard to do a good job at it. And then as soon as you hear something that's almost distracting that you have to think about, that you actually have to think about, it's instantly like, I got no more room. I got no more room in my brain to also think about that thing.
Right.
So yeah, that's, but now I feel like
you have color in your video.
Oh yeah, like Zach, no thanks to me again.
Yeah.
No thanks to me.
No, yeah, he does a good job.
He does, yeah. So it's one of those things, and now I've tried, especially with stuff like that, especially when I feel overwhelmed. It's like I've tried to be like, hey, just take a breath. What are they saying?
Yeah.
Are they trying to hurt you, or are they trying to help you? They're trying to help you, even though you feel overwhelmed. They're just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Did you feel any of that? Like, kind of as you got going, did you feel like there was points where you were overwhelmed? You're trying to pump out, maybe you got a video at 100K or 50K, and the next one does 20, and the next one does like 25, and then you're like, hey, what the heck? I got to do this again. And someone comes along, like, let's say I come along and I say, hey, Seth, Maybe if you tried to dress in normal clothes, you'd get more views.
Oh my days, bro. Oh my days.
Did you? Yeah.
Just yesterday. Yeah.
See, and for you, are you instantly like, does that, like, especially when things aren't going as good as maybe they have gone at a point, or maybe they're going to be in the future?
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit more resistant to like that, or how do you deal with that kind of stuff?
Yesterday, me and Tor were talking, and he was like, you know what? I don't think, like, what happens if you just try to dress like more accessible? Well, and I never like wrote that off because I'm like, that's totally valid, like that point, because I used to do like that stuff, and I used to not dress like a complete anime character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think all your fits are like that
No.
though. Like all your stuff isn't like that.
Yeah, but yeah, he was like, we were kind of like just bouncing ideas, and I thought it was really good.
It was good. Like it was receivable.
Yeah, it was good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It was really good for me. Yeah,
that's sweet. So then, Kay, back to your story. So you're at the point. I think where we left off, you had moved into your girlfriend's house. You're making content there.
Yeah.
Okay. From there, what happened?
Then moved out of my girlfriend's house back into my parents' house, and changed the basement into my room now.
Okay.
So I moved my bed out into the basement area, low ceiling, like really low ceiling. So it was really hard to shoot in.
Yeah.
But I made it work because I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna buy lights. I'm gonna buy, all the stuff that you would need. Upgraded my phone, I think.
You were filming this all on your phone?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Do you still film on your phone?
No. But people like the most successful fashion TikToker filmed on his phone. So
this just goes to show you were complimenting the quality, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you were filming in the corner of a variety of rooms, bringing clothes to your location with an orange bucket, filming on your phone, and making content that people seem to like. So that just goes to show, hey, you make something that people resonate with or people enjoy, or that you, at the end of the day, that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You don't need to have, like, I mean, I got a nice camera, I got a nice setup, I got all that stuff. You don't need all of that stuff.
No.
Like, at least to start out, necessarily.
No, 100%. One of the best things I've ever heard is somebody saying, I believe, I don't know who it was, maybe Steve Lacy. I don't know if you know who Steve Lacy is. He's a musician, artist guy.
Okay.
I bite my tongue, it's a bad habit.
Okay, yeah.
You know that song? You know what I mean?
It's a good song.
Yeah, it is. That guy, his first viral song was made on GarageBand.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
he did a TED Talk about the importance of the best thing you have is the thing that you got already.
Like right now. Yeah.
That's the best thing you have to make content with.
Yeah.
The best camera that you have is the one that you have.
Make something.
Yeah.
Make something.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it, not saying everybody, I know some people get turned off by that. It's like, not everybody has to create content, but if that's what you're interested in, stop trying to find all these different ways out of it and just make something.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, it doesn't matter, man. Just do it. So I just kept on doing that.
So you're in the basement of your parents' house, making content on a phone with a really low ceiling.
With a crazy low ceiling. Like, I would say it's pretty equivalent to this ceiling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dang, okay. And then how long did that last for? Like, how long were you there? Did you throw down with your parents at some point? And they were like, you get the heck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sweet, okay. Just a good guess, I guess.
Well,
you just seem like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah,
but it was time to get out.
It was time to.
Okay.
It was time to leave.
That's fair.
And left, went to Tori's house.
Tori.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. He's also a good buddy.
Yeah. You watch the other podcast.
You can catch him on Thick and Thin on what is it? NSFW, or Not Safe for Work.
NSFW?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like just the like explicit. It's going to be called Thick and Thin.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not going to be clean. That one's for
but you can't put that on Spotify. Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
I'm just warning people ahead of time, like even in the podcast. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna listen to this, don't expect like a clean cut.
Right.
This is a little bit more clean cut. Not even
I would
still, but
so hopefully.
Yeah, I think with this, I think it still needs to be. If someone's going to tell their story or share information or something like that, it's got to be real. Yeah. Like, I mean, in terms of you moving out of your parents' house, that's real. Like, I think a lot of young people experience that. I know I did. Yeah. Like at 17, I got the boot, or 17 or 18.
Oh really?
And then, but I think a lot of people face that. Maybe some don't, but I think there's a lot of people who do. And I think that's important to add into this because even though it's not like you're 40 years old and you're like, hey, this is what I did. Yeah. You're 20 some years old and you've done a lot and you've experienced a lot of things that people a little bit younger than you now have also experienced. And I think you're doing all right.
I'm doing all right.
From my perspective. Who knows? In a couple of years, you might be. We might be picking you up off the street.
Yeah, I might be homeless in 2 years, dude. Yeah.
So speaking of homeless, so you moved out of your parents' house and you moved in with your buddy Tori.
Yeah.
And are you keep making content or what?
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Just pumped it out.
Yeah, pump it out.
So what do you do now for content? Like where you just move rooms?
Like, oh yeah. What do you mean? I shoot in that corner stuff.
You've got a great model, great content model where you just need a room.
Yeah, man.
You just need a room.
I need a room, dude. That's it. That's all I need.
That's cool.
That's cool. Anyway. I just need a room with a white wall, preferably.
Preferably, why white?
It's like brighter, brings more light into the room, and like,
okay,
it makes the video more attractive to look at.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and your videos are really good.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to go check out some cool videos, like not even if you don't give a shit about fashion, whatever, but he actually, even the editing and stuff in your videos is cool. Like they're fun to watch. And you do all that too, right?
I do everything myself. Everything. Yeah.
How do you edit your stuff? This is wild. I know the answer to this, but I want you to explain it.
I edit it on my phone, dude.
That's so wild.
Actually, now I just got my iPad today, but I edited it on my iPhone on CapCut. Yeah. Never learned any professional editing.
Man, that's so cool.
Like I know Zach uses Premiere Pro. No. Yes.
I have no idea.
And I think he uses Premiere Pro. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
But that's like professional stuff.
And you're on CapCut.
I'm on CapCut, but
that's so good, man. Yeah. That's unreal.
I actually love it, dude. It's so user friendly.
I do like Zach cuts up for reels and stuff like that. He cuts them up, and I put captions in, and I'm playing with transitions and stuff like that. And I feel like a genius. I'm like, ooh, put this here, put this there, and then sometimes it messes things up real bad.
Yeah,
but that's great. Yeah, your stuff, like me knowing just the bare minimum of something like CapCut, to make the videos you make on CapCut is pretty dang impressive.
Yeah.
One thing I did wonder about CapCut is, can you save like an edit template or
yes,
or even a like a caption template, like a style?
You can batch edit captions. You know that, right?
No.
Do you click?
Like I see the batch edit thing.
Yeah.
On CapCut. This might be really boring for people, but whatever. I see the batch edit thing, but I thought that was just like you could type different things in there. I never really played with it too much because I thought it's probably going to mess things up.
After this, I'm going to show you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man.
After this, I'm gonna show you.
Cool.
Make your life easier.
What'd you think of I posted a reel with you today. What'd you think of that?
I love that reel. I reposted it. Did you not see that?
You reposted it?
On my personal story, yeah. Yeah.
I made it, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You don't need to be here anymore, dude. It's all good.
No, that's sweet. Man. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks. Well, you can leave now. So
yeah.
I've gotten what I wanted out of you. So you can head out now, dude. Sweet, man. And
I was like, oh, Pelly's gonna love this.
You shit.
Pelly's gonna love
dude,
this.
I'm blushing right now. That's so cool, man.
I thought it was a really good thing to post, a little snippet.
It was good. Even your perspective was really good on that. For coming from to put into context, the reel was talking about working out and the benefits of working out and that kind of stuff. And coming from a guy who works out all the time, it doesn't mean quite as much from someone who, Seth puts out a lot of fashion stuff, or you put out a lot of fashion stuff. So coming from the perspective of someone who isn't necessarily just from the outside workout guy, it means a lot more to people when they hear that perspective than it does coming from me. I'm in a gym. It's my job. I do it as a thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to say certain things.
Right.
So I thought that one was really good. That reel was really good. So Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks
dude.
for sharing that,
No,
dude.
it was good. I liked it. It was because a lot of people in the fashion industry do work out. Like that's,
Yeah, it is a thing.
It's a big thing. Yeah,
cool, man.
If you're doing, you're probably just. I don't work out that often, but like a lot of the guys that do a lot of fashion content are models, right? Like
so they
actual
got to be in
models.
shape.
Like they have to be in shape.
How does that world work? So, in terms of you've gone from content creation, you've gone through all this process, and then now you've built a good following or a pretty massive following, in my opinion. So as that world has expanded, what does that look like?
I went to New York Fashion Week twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And how was that?
I hate it.
Say the truth, man.
I hate it. I actually hate it.
What do you hate about it? Like, what was the?
No knocking on anybody. The experience was an experience. It's not that I don't like Fashion Week. I love the photographers. I love the atmosphere of it.
You should walk me through what it's like.
I
like,
don't
what
like
is
the city. The city New itself York is not
New
nice.
York. You're really killing our demographic here. Eh? Yeah. Like a huge chunk of the population. If this expands bigger, it's just people in New York out.
Oh dang! I'm so sorry,
I'm kidding. I don't know how many New Yorkers are going to be listening.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what does that whole thing look like? Because I have no idea what like. Is it like I'm trying to think of it like a convention? Like, are you in a big rec center type of or a big like?
So what happens is every designer has a show. Not every designer. Some designers have shows, or showcases.
Okay.
In which they can be in different areas in the city. You get an invitation to go to a showcase or a runway show at the specific spot at this time. Everybody meets at the specific spot at the specific time to be there. Be there, be square.
Okay.
It's not a big convention center where everybody gets together. It's like different events.
So, and then are you networking? Is that the purpose of the events?
Yeah, just to get to know people in the industry more, in different spaces. Yeah, and then get some good content as well. Like New York content's always popping off, you know. But like, okay, so after you go to the show, usually there's an after party.
Okay.
You get invited to the after party. You go to the after party. I'm not really a big, huge after party guy. I don't like partying in cities that I don't know.
Okay.
So when I went to New York, I went to one party. When I went to the New York twice, I've been to one party that whole time. I just don't like getting drunk or like being inebriated in some place that I don't feel comfortable in.
Yeah, I feel like especially in a city like I've never been to New York,
especially
so I'm talking to my ass a little bit.
New York, dude.
Yeah, it's a massive.
Everybody's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dang, yeah, that would be a little bit. Yeah, that'd be a little bit sketchy.
My theory, like when I left New York for the second time, I was like, you either have to be extremely creative and like really know why you're there and you're there to do something.
Yeah.
Or you're actually probably just a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just the environment itself.
Yeah.
I've often wondered that. I know for me we grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
Oftentimes those big centers, I'm like, I don't fit into this place unless I have a purpose to be there.
Yeah.
If I have a purpose to be in a big populate or a high populated area, then I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I got to get this done. I got to do this, and it's good.
Yeah.
But if I'm there and I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, then I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what's going on.
100%. That was me the second time I went. It was a lot more free.
Okay.
Time, because just a lot more free time, and I got to see like a lot of cool vintage shops, and I got to explore the city a lot more, which was cool. But in exploring the city, you see the good and the not so good of the city.
Yeah, you got any good stories?
Right? Yeah,
you got any
hit
good
by
stories?
A homeless guy.
You got hit by a homeless guy?
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, on the side of the street for no goddamn reason.
No reason, eh?
Yeah,
and he just threw down.
Man.
Yeah. So you mess him up, or what'd you do?
Well, I'm a Canadian citizen. The guy was like 75 and homeless. There's no way I'm hitting him back.
Dude, you should have texted me before it, and I would have placed some bets.
Yeah.
Throw down some money.
Bet 365?
Yeah, Bet 365. Yeah.
This is not a sponsor. Homeless guy.
Yeah. What's the over under? Dang.
Yeah, he was like straight up like just I was walking past him, and then he just
hit you.
Hit me, man.
In the head, or where did he hit you?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to be that homeless guy.
He
man.
almost knocked my shades off, and it didn't hurt, but I was like kind of like what the fuck, man?
Like, what's going on?
And I was like, what is going on?
Did he say anything or?
He was like, keep off that shit or something. Keep off that shit. Like saying nothing, and I was like, he just like hit me, and I didn't say any, like I said not a word to this guy.
Even after, or would you say like? Did you say?
I was just like, what the fuck, and I just kept walking, dude.
That's wild.
I just kept walking. But in where we live in Winnipeg, if there's a homeless guy, he's not coming to hit you. He's gonna be sitting there, and he's gonna be asking for money peacefully, quietly.
Yeah,
he's not gonna follow you. In New York, when they ask you for money, they will follow you down the block and ask you for money.
Really?
It's almost like a robbery at this point.
See, in Winnipeg too, like one of the things is you always have to be careful. Like if you when someone asks you for money, you keep the conversation brief, you move on. Yeah. Because if you don't, all of a sudden you're gonna get a whole story and you're gonna sit down, which is, I mean, not the worst thing. It's probably good for podcasts. That'd probably be a good podcast idea to just sit with homeless people, because they'll tell you about their girlfriend and how they're trying to turn things around and how they recently found Jesus, and you're looking at them like, yeah, I don't know if this is true or not. And then you find yourself like 20 minutes later being like, I gotta go catch up with my buddies. Right. So yeah, you don't start conversation. You just kind of move on. Yeah. Yep. And they don't give you the option to move on, buddy. They'll move with you. They'll move right with you, buddy. That's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah. Cool, man. So New York Fashion Week, got that done. The subway's an absolute shithole too. Oh yeah, like, you did use the subway system. Oh yeah. What's that like? Is it dirty? Oh, dude, I don't even know how to describe how dirty it is down there. It's nasty. It's nasty. Ooh. Even the streets in New York, there's garbage bags. Like, so was it a pretty big culture shock coming from like where we are, pretty wide open spaces, not very like populated. I mean, the whole population in New York would fit inside this whole freaking country, dude. That's wild. That might not be a true fact, but I think it's Texas. The population of Texas fits in Canada. Yeah, it's one of those large. Like cities. It's not. We don't have many here. Yeah. Like I think I seen something about the population of Winnipeg, like being the major city in Manitoba. It outpopulates the next biggest city by like 14 times, and it's not even that big of a city. Yeah, it's like Brandon. I just saw that TikTok. You saw that TikTok too, yeah. And I was like, was it 14 times? It was something like that, right? 14 times, like 750,000 in Winnipeg, and then like 41,000 in Brandon. Yeah. So 750,000 people in our major city is not much. Yeah, that's wild. So you'd never move there or anything like that? Oh, absolutely not, dude. I would rather die, man. Wow. Sorry, that's a large statement. Yeah, that's wild. That's good though. You know, like, would you move like with the content you're making, with the stuff you're making as you keep growing? Do you see yourself staying in a community like we have, just because of the accessibility of the internet, how you can put stuff out despite where you're at? That I think that's a huge missed opportunity for a lot of people too. Is their location doesn't matter as much anymore as it used to. You speak on that because I don't know anything about that. Like, so everybody always asks like, oh, are you gonna stay in Morden? You gonna just stay there? Morden is this like tiny city we live in. That we live in. I'd call it a town for anybody. Yeah, it's definitely not a city. Yeah. You gonna stay there? Yeah, I plan to. I got everything I need. I don't need anything. Yeah. If I need to go somewhere, I'll go somewhere. If I need to fly somewhere, I'll fly somewhere. But like, this is home to me, man. Yeah, at this point you've built your thing out of this location. It's not like you've needed a ton more people around you. Mm-hmm. It's not like, I think some people get trapped in and again, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say, I think, coming from someone who isn't in your position, but so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people get caught up in the idea I need to go here to meet this person. I need to go here to meet this person. I need to live in this location to meet these people. And with the internet, I don't think it's like that. I mean, you'd be better to speak on that than I would be. It's always a plus to meet those people. Like going to New York Fashion Week and seeing all the fashion TikTok guys. I've met a good handful of them. Mm-hmm. Like, it's cool. It's a cool experience to do, but I DM them. Yeah. Get their number, text them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, reach out that way. And like you said, like I'm gonna guess that if you needed to go do something somewhere else, you just make a trip. Yeah. Yeah. Well, tax write-off, you know what I mean? The government of Canada is going to be like, we gotta look into this guy. I'm going to send this podcast into the revenue agency.
Oh, dude,
that's cool, man. That's really cool.
Because most of the time, like this year, I've traveled the most out of all the years that I've been doing this. I've traveled the most for work.
Dang. Tell us about your travels, man. Let's get out of work a little bit, and let's talk. Okay, let's talk about how we know each other.
Okay. Can I get a Celsius?
Yeah, you want one?
Dude, I can't drink this anymore.
What do you have in there?
There's a lot of whiskey.
I'll switch cups. That's what I mean, though. I'm like instantly like, oh no. Okay, I'm gonna let you say how you know me, because if I say how you know me, it's gonna sound like I'm big dogging. So I'm gonna let you. How do we know each other?
The gym, baby. That's the Youth for Christ Center.
Back to
John Rempel in the Youth for Christ Center. You were a volunteer at the Youth for Christ Center.
Yeah, doing the Lord's work.
And I was there as a youth.
Doing the devil's work.
Yeah, doing the devil's work, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you have more Coke in there, or is that empty?
That's empty.
Yeah, I'm good with not taking that. Dang, that's okay. So, I knew Seth from... Man, I don't want to sound like the old crony who's like, I know Seth.
I remember the times that you and Nikki would show up, and you would take Nikki along sometimes too.
No, I never.
Yeah,
did.
you did.
Never.
110%. You did.
Seth, never.
You did.
I promise you, I did not.
One time.
No,
I remember it.
No. No,
dude.
I worked out with a guy. I worked out at Samson's gym with a guy named Ivan and a guy named Gerald.
Oh. Gerald Elias.
I've never brought when I trained there, it was never when the girls were allowed to be.
No, I'm saying you brought her to it's like a Youth for Christ night, like a Thursday night drop in.
Oh yeah, for sure. She volunteered there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw her there.
So you know me from drop in then?
Yeah. I know you from both because the gym and the drop in are connected, right? So
yeah. I thought you were talking about the gym. I'm like, I never brought her there.
No, Nikki was never there because there was
bring women around my fitness. Fitness is my time, dude.
There's no women.
I got like 4 videos on YouTube of doing fitness with women. Okay, so you were this is what I mean. Like you were a youngster then.
Yeah.
You're just a little guy.
Yeah.
I was a little guy, but
young. I'm 21, dude.
Yeah, you're a baby, man. And man, I was probably 21 when you were in there. I was probably 21.
Oh, that's wild, actually.
Yeah.
And I was 21. If you're 21, then minus 6 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like
13, 14, 14? 14 or 15?
15.
13, 14, or 15?
I would say 15 or 16.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember.
Because you know my dad.
Yeah, I knew your dad first.
Yeah,
knew your dad first, and then got to know you as one of the kids who went there. But I don't remember a whole lot about you then. Like you weren't a super loud or obnoxious or out there kid at that time.
I really wasn't.
Just kind of respectful. Did his own thing.
Pong.
Really good at ping pong.
Yeah, I loved it. That's the main reason I went there.
Yeah,
because it was a ping pong.
We'll have to do a vlog of.
I will wreck anybody in ping pong.
Good, man.
Anybody.
So speaking of vlogs, Seth's been in a couple vlogs so far. Although the views haven't been that great, the feedback on the vlog with you, the fashion vlog, like physical people we know, has been unbelievable.
Really?
Like people texting me, people talking to me about it, like unbelievable.
That's sweet.
Which is really cool. I'm excited. This fitness one just got done, so it's going to drop on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And it is, I don't know when this podcast can come out, so if this podcast is out way later, I go back and look up those vlogs. But a lot of good feedback from it. Just the humor. I looked at Zach and I said to him, I'm like, man, we just got to keep getting Seth into these into these vlogs. Yeah. And he's like, these are good. Like just the humor in them is good. I think it makes a big difference though with stuff like that where you're able to have a sense of humor. Like you know the other person isn't going to be like, whoa, don't say that, or vice versa, or
that's why a lot of good vlogs are like the Nelk boys and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they all know, like they're all the best of friends. They're not vlogging with a random person and like really trying to what would you say? There's no lines really.
Yeah, and you know at the end of the day with someone that you're friends with and you get along with that, if you do take something too far, usually you're respectful enough to be like, "Oh, sorry, man. We can either cut that out or we can make an edit." So you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Do you want to tell? You want to talk about our? So we knew each other from the youth center, but we didn't know. Like, I didn't know you for like 6 years after that. I probably knew you for a year or two. Knew your dad, and then I didn't touch base with you for a long time. Like, no, we didn't know each other. I knew of you. I knew what you were doing, but other than that,
slow pitch.
It's like a slow pitch. Yeah. But you were still like a little youngster then. Yeah. I was a youngster too.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Yeah, slow pitch, and then probably when you moved in with our friend Tori is when we connected and went through that, and then me and Seth got to go on another great YouTube video. Go to the channel, look up the Mexico vlog. Yeah, and we got to hang out that week, which was really good. Like that was awesome. I tell a lot of people about that. They asked how it was going with the guys and stuff like that, which the guys were awesome, but me and you got to stay in a room together, got to travel together, and we got to do some fun stuff.
You got to see the my side of life, dude, a little bit.
It was awesome. It was really good, and I think you got to see my side of life a little bit. 7:30 a.m. You were up.
Guys up. You know what I mean? Guys up.
Guys up.
Guys up.
Go to bed at 3 and wake up at 7:30.
Yeah.
No, that was a lot of fun. I think, and it makes things like this so much more fun too as you get to know other people.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Guys up, and I'm not, dude.
Nice,
I'm up till 3, 4
in the morning
in Mexico.
Okay. I thought you just meant. I thought you just meant regular. Okay,
no,
carry
in
on.
Mexico, dude. Oh, yeah. Dude. What a trip.
Yeah, but I was up to 3 or 4 with you.
Dude, have a good time. You know what I mean?
I was up to 3 or 4 with you.
Yeah. But I don't know how you got up at 7:30 every morning. It blew my mind.
I think it was just a pattern. Like it was like the morning was just a system.
I want that.
You want that?
Yeah, I want that, dude.
I think the big thing was that you didn't know the curtains closed, like the sun would come in.
and
then it was like, I can't sleep.
Do not start with this. The curtains don't close, but you think there's no hot water. You think there's no hot water.
Okay, you gotta explain, because this is like when people go to like weddings, and every wedding. Have you been to weddings yet?
Yes.
Okay, so the guys tell stories that are really funny.
Yeah.
The girls come up and they tell stories like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I don't know what they're talking.
Okay, so we went to Mexico, and Pell goes in the shower, and he doesn't. What was it? Oh yeah.
So I turned it one way and it was kind of warm.
Turns it one way, it's kind of warm. It's a little warm. It's like a cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like a nice room temperature.
Yeah. So I think that's the way of the heat.
He's like, what is going on, dude? Like it's cold in here, dude. It's cold, dude. It's fucking cold, man. And
is that the way I talk?
And I'm like, oh, dude, I've been having hot showers every morning. The room is steaming.
You got to specify this. You're making it sound like it's day 1. Day 1, I've been doing this. This is probably day 6 when I'm telling Seth at this point.
Yeah, dude's been doing this since day 1. I've been having hot showers for 5 days straight, and I've been letting him think that there's no hot water.
Dude, I actually did it on purpose. Cold showers.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Topping it up. Yeah, getting the grind, you know?
Yeah. So I was like, no, you're an actual idiot, dude. And
I remember you were so annoyed.
I was so pissed because it was the morning.
It was the morning, and I had complained. I had complained about cold showers every day that week, and then you're like, "Are you serious?" And then you stomped into the shower. You were in your boxers, half naked. You walked in, you cranked the shower thing, and you turned it to the other side, and you're like, "There, feels pretty fucking hot to me." And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's really nice.
It feels pretty fucking hot to me, buddy.
But on the other hand, Seth,
the things that you saw from me were way worse than things that.
Well, I'll just touch on one. Seth would wake up. I'd wake up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock every day, and Seth probably wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
But I would wake up, and not only that, but the sunlight would come in. So our room we were kind of facing a little bit towards the sun, so the room would fill with sunlight, and it would kind of wake you up. Well, at first I thought Seth would just wake up with me to begin with, but because I was freaking annoying in the mornings. But towards probably about the 5th or 6th day as well, I had asked him, "Do you want me to?" He was pretty tired. "Do you want me to shut the curtain so you can sleep a little bit longer?" And he's like, "Wait, what? There's curtains?" This guy didn't know that all he had to do was pull 2 curtains together, and it was dark in the room.
They were the nice ones too.
So between me and Seth, we had things figured out by about day number 6.
Yeah, man. We had one more day to go, and we lived that in our full glory.
Hot
showers and curtains, baby.
Hot showers and curtains, man. That was a good time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So what's next for you?
What's next?
What's on the schedule?
I'm just keep creating content for brands. Just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm kind of.
Do you want to say the brands you work with, or?
I mean, I work with PacSun. I've worked with Mason Valentino. I've worked with Doc Martens. I've worked with
some big
boys,
big hitters,
some big hitters. You know what I mean?
Nice, dude.
There's more. I just can't think of them all right now.
That's cool. So you're gonna kind of work with some more brands.
Yeah.
What else you got?
This is a whole nother little, like, that question's loaded, you know what I mean? Like, what else do I have? I just keep creating. And I think, like, there's a video that I released today
which was good, really good,
about creator burnout.
Yeah,
I'm kind of in there, in that space right now.
Just was it in that video too? I know which one you're talking about, and that was a good video. I think I don't know. Did you get good response on it?
I don't know. I haven't really checked.
No, but it was, from my perspective.
I just want to.
It was probably one of your most relatable videos.
Yeah,
like a lot of your content's really good. It's awesome, but that one was like you could connect with it really well. Like it was a different side that I thought was really good. It was a really good video.
Yeah, I want to, like, I like the angle that I shot it from. Yeah, the angle that I shot it from. I want to make videos where I don't talk and just get dressed and then put music in behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the angle. But yesterday I was like on a really, like, deep spiral. I was like, this isn't gonna work out. Like, my videos are not getting views, and I'm not getting that adrenaline rush that I always used to get. And I'm like, this can't do. I need to come up with way better ideas.
Different. Okay. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that right now, though.
Yeah.
Like big content creators saying the same thing
right now.
Yeah.
In this period of time.
Yeah. Saying the same thing, like in terms of TikTok, Instagram.
Which is weird, because I just had a meeting today. This is really weird. I just had a meeting today. They're like, "Oh, are you experiencing the slump?" And I'm like, "Huh? Like the slump?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, I am actually." And they're like, "Yeah, it's going on, you know."
Yeah,
I've heard people are not getting what they used to get.
No,
and
I wonder why that is.
I think something's going down, but yeah.
I wonder what that is. This was kind of, as I'm growing, I'm trying to find different ways to grow and to provide content, to provide value, and to get some reach with it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I feel like between me and Zach and the stuff you're in and other people are in, I feel like it's good quality. But it's like, it could be the best quality ever, but if it doesn't reach people who it's for, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You're just making really good videos for nobody.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. So in that, one of the things I had heard was a person had said, "Hey, it's at this point right now where things are kind of dropping." And I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is just what I was hearing. They were saying, "Hey, we care way more about YouTube growth than we care about TikTok or Instagram right now, because it doesn't mean anything on TikTok or Instagram right now, because everybody's kind of feeling this down slope. But who knows? In like a month from now, with the way things work on social media, it could be, or multimedia, as I say. I don't know what that means, multimedia. But in a month from now, could totally switch. Like,
it's nuts that I revolve my life around a simple algorithm of a social media platform.
Yeah.
That boggles my mind, dude.
From your perspective, inside that world, being in depth into it, do you ever get, the conspiracy or the skepticism of like, hey, what is this? Or even like the TikTok, people like Joe Rogan and all these people, the privacy stuff or anything like that. Do you ever, you either notice anything or all of a sudden pull back? You're like, whoa, I seen this, and
from my like conspiracy theory, everybody always asks the questions. Oh, like, am I shadow banned, dude? Like, did I do something to get shadow banned?
Yeah.
Because what shadow banning is they'll ban you and not push out your content and not tell you the reason why, and that's why it's called shadow banning, right? And I've definitely had periods of time where I'm like, am I being shadow banned? Like right now, I'm like, am I being shadow banned? Like my videos are doing no like down by 70% of views. Like,
yeah,
how? It was just like a month ago. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So in that way, I get like, I'm like, there's something going down, that maybe I did something, or I get I conspire that way. Yeah.
And I don't blame you too, because it is your profession. So you're trying to, just like the person with a business would be trying to figure out, hey, our revenue is down this month. How are we going to produce something that, we have a good product. How do we get it to people and have them want it?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the end goal. I think that's the best product, is something people want.
Yeah.
So I think everybody, whether you're making cars or you're making content on social media platforms, you're trying to make something people want.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating, especially when things drop like that.
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out, hey, how does this work? How does that work?
Yeah.
What can I do to make it better? I feel like I'm making something good. I feel like it's valuable. Yeah, I can see how that would be very frustrating.
It's very frustrating, but I also like in my right now, when the views were dropping, I spent up to 8 hours editing a video, one single video.
Yeah.
But when the views were high, I spent an hour editing that video.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm like, is my editing is not bad. Like my editing is great. Good. But should I try less? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing wrong, and what's going down? But then I think this is true for businesses, and I think it's true for content creators as well. What's done good in the past? Yesterday I went down my hundreds of videos, and I just kind of scrolled down. I was like, okay, I need to see numbers here. What kind of videos did good numbers wise? And so I was like, oh, what's successful in the past, and how can I recreate that now? And what kind of model, what kind of video model was I following when those were being successful? Just like a car company would go back to previous models.
Yep.
Would be like, oh, what was successful there that we can kind of incorporate into this new model of things?
Yeah, you don't do the same thing, but you can take the things that you feel like worked for that.
Yeah.
Did you find stuff that you feel like maybe would work?
Yeah, so I just did that yesterday. I'm kind of like going through it now, like talking. Like I did a lot more talking.
And I think a lot of people don't understand too, like with social media stuff, they think, okay, you're a social media content creator. Oh, what kind of job is that? They actually don't see, like, you have to run it like a business. Like you have to do things like what you're doing and say, hey, this is a problem. How do we solve it?
100%.
We have a problem, because if you don't, then you kind of get
no job.
Especially with social media, it can be 1 month and on to the next kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe now people have adjusted a little bit. Like a large percentage of the population has given it a little bit more credit. Of course, you get the outliers of like the one hit wonder kind of thing. But I think a lot of people understand that it is more work than it is perceived as.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
It's a ton,
like even your videos, editing a video on CapCut on a phone, that takes work and that takes time, and it takes skill. Like it does take a decent. It's not working on a roof in -40 building steel houses. It's a different type of work, but it is work.
Yeah. That's how I had to convince some family of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah, that stuff always fascinates me. I think, and maybe your opinion on this. Do you ever find yourself getting into the position of just saying, hey, I'm just going to make what I want to make? I don't care what it does. I obviously yours is a business, but is there certain points where you're like, hey, you know what? I don't care anymore. Like in terms of curating it at all. Yeah. Do you ever just feel like, hey, I'm just going to pop out this content. I'm going to push this. It's what I like. It's what I want to do. And if you like it, cool. If you don't, see ya. I'm going to keep going.
True, but the see ya is not going to make you any money, is it?
Yeah, so you're playing that game where your revenue is, and I think you've talked about this, and maybe you don't want to talk about this too much, so just stop me if I do. But one of your goals is to expand beyond being kind of stuck in that position, right?
Yeah.
To create something outside of that.
Yeah. No, that's one of my main goals is to get outside the influencer and get my own brand out.
Like, are you thinking clothing or what do you, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So this is just a stepping stone, but like I have gone in positions where just recently, right? I'm like, I'm going to edit how I want. I'm going to make the videos I want. And when these videos come out, I'm going to be proud of them. And I put out my outfit battle where they were battling each other and there was two people in the frame all the time. I put out that video and I watched it and I was like, damn, I love this. Like, I'm super proud of this.
Like, you enjoyed that.
I enjoyed making the video. I enjoyed editing the video. You know what I didn't enjoy is when I sat back and I looked at TikTok and got 1,600 views.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't always pay attention to that either. Obviously, I'm coming again from someone who isn't like, that's not my business.
Right.
It's something I do on the side. But from an outsider looking in, I'd way rather you be doing stuff like what you did today with that personable side, or like when you say, "Hey, I really enjoyed that." Now I'm probably going to go after this and go check that out because I'm like, oh, I know he really enjoyed making this. Yeah. I want to watch that now, rather than like, I think some people I've even engaged with in terms of like their content. I've seen, oh, it's really nice content.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I'm like, oh, it's really nice content. And then I kind of move on.
Yeah.
And then like the kind of, I feel like I connect long term way more with that kind of stuff, like where you're like, hey, this is what I like, one, and hey, this is me, the other side of it.
That's like people like you and people like Tori are like telling me these things, and I'm like, you guys are totally right. And like the way the most successful guys in fashion, I can think of two. Their name is Daniel Simmons and Tim Desant. Make the most personal content, but they also are very like, they give you value in their content. Their content is very valuable to starting your style journey.
Yeah.
Those guys are probably making a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're very successful. But their content has value. And so what I want to do is make my content valuable as well, but with my style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their style is simple, but I want to make my content valuable in that same way, but with just a little bit of a different style.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I do. And again, this is like anything that I say in terms of, hey, this is a good idea. I think this is a good idea. This is a great idea. It's coming from someone who has no idea. Like, I have no clue. I'm obviously just starting. I'm learning a ton from you, which is so cool. Like, I think, being older than you and getting to look back and be like, oh, this guy's got tons of advice, tons of perspective. That's super exciting to me. Maybe 5 years ago, not so much, but now it's like, holy shit, like this is a whole nother world. Like, how can we take advantage of it, and how can we provide people with different things? That's cool. And I think I don't know, even like the apparel stuff, I think it just keeps opening doors. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden you pop out that apparel and it does really well, and then you're all of a sudden like, oh shoot, this social media thing, not to hoop your social media fans, but even this kind of content, if for you this becomes the next step of like, hey, I'm making clothing, I'm making, whatever comes out next, if it's a sweater or something, that's where my revenue is coming from. This social media, cool, I can just do what I want there now.
Yeah. I've seen guys with similar following as me right now.
Yeah.
Put out a brand. I really never really see them posting on social media except for their brand. But they make so much money during those drops.
Yeah.
They sell out.
Yeah.
Like, those are sold out drops. And I see like Instagram stories of this room that we're in right now is full of packages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so $120, $150 a sweater times. I'm like, these guys are set, dude. They don't have to do anything. These guys don't have to make content like I do right now. And I want to be in that same position where I want to like sell out things and do that type of stuff. Yeah, and
I think too, like, you, just to clarify, I think people sometimes get that confused. Like, they'll hear you say that, hey, I'm just gonna make sweaters so I don't have to make content.
Right.
But I think what you're saying is, hey, this is another avenue to provide you value.
Yeah.
This is more value than what you're getting potentially from you might feel more value spending, let's say, $100 on a sweater, than you're getting from my reels, and you get to wear this every day.
Yeah.
I get to make the content I want to make, and I get to provide you with something that you get to wear every day.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think you're saying it in the way of here's a sweater. Awesome. Now I don't need to make that.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not saying it that way. Like it just,
but I think people get that confused. Like they see people in your position and they think in their head, well, they're just doing this. And maybe some people do that, but I think the majority of people who, especially coming from your position, making videos from a phone, editing on a phone, it's not like you were making those just to make a quick dollar at that time. No. So I do think some people get that mixed up a little bit. Of
I wasn't making.
You're trying to provide. Yeah, you're doing this for free. Yeah. You'd probably still be doing this for free. But you want to provide value. You want your content to reach. And another way to do that is to provide apparel from your perspective. Yeah. Which I think is cool. Yeah. I mean, I'd buy it. You see,
we sold one, boys.
Yeah, dude, I'd buy it. I thought you were gonna wear the Feel United gear in here,
dude. I was debating. As soon as I
just decked out again, eh? Man, that's so cool. I'm so excited, man. Yeah. Well, you got anything else you wanna touch on? We can keep going, or we can. This is the first one, so
how long? What's it at right now?
I don't care. We're gonna make this as long as it needs to be. If you want to keep talking, I'll keep talking.
What's it at though?
I can't see here, but on the camera I can. I can't see here though.
I'm not sure what else I need to talk about. I'm gonna create. I would just say like, if I were to give advice to like any people like starting out,
yeah, that's actually a really good topic.
You should have asked me that, dude.
Yeah. Hang on. What advice would you give people to, dude? I in all honesty, going into this, I was almost going to look up questions to ask people on podcasts. I'm like, I don't want to do it that way. Like when I hear a podcast and it has like so much structure to it, and maybe this is a thing to make a good podcast. Awesome. But I don't like that style of podcast. So I'm not going to make that. This isn't making me any money right now. Yeah. So I just want to make a podcast that, one, you feel comfortable talking about whatever you want to talk about. And two, I feel comfortable talking to you about it.
So one, right? I'm
just
going to say this right now.
What was the question?
No, I'm just going to say this right now.
Okay.
You're great at this, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're great, dude. The way that you're asking questions and the way that you're carrying the conversation is crazy.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Can we put this at the start?
This is great stuff. This Pell guy is really good he's really good at this.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Dude.
Damn. You're making me blush again.
Well,
shoot. Okay. What was the question?
Advice for young
creators. You got any advice for younger creators or older creators? Shit, dude. There's a lot of people older than you. I mean, speaking for me. Speaking about myself.
Speak about yourself, dude. Speak about yourself.
I think for a lot of older creators, not that I'm super old, but I am, compared to you, I am older. There's a lot of resistance, perceived resistance at the very least. Maybe not realistic, but there is a ton of perceived resistance. Like, of, why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? Who do you think you are? Yeah. It's like, I don't think of anybody. I'm just trying to find avenues to offer information for people. That's my perspective, or I'll offer value. Here we go. What advice do you have? I'm not going to cut that first part. We'll keep that all in. But what advice do you have for creators or people, like even people in general, trying to maybe take a risk on something that they're not sure of?
When I give advice, right, I always feel like I'm pudding. I feel like when I say this advice, like people might think like, oh, he's just giving me advice. He's better than me. He's got it all figured out. Nah. When I say this advice, I need this advice just as much as you do. Like anybody that's listening, I need this advice that I'm giving to you just as much as you do. Yeah. Like I need to use these things that I'm saying. Yeah.
You're not just saying it to hear yourself talk.
No. I'm saying it just in general because I need it. Be patient. Sometimes I'm not patient, but I need to be patient. You need to be patient. Because in times where I'm like, oh, this is not going to work out. It's always worked out. There's always been like times after that. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's all good. And it continues to be like that. So right now I'm like, oh, like I need to do something. It needs to get way better than it is. Mm-hmm. I know I trust and like I trust that there's going to be better times after this, and this is not going to last. It might last a long time, but it's not going to last forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just be patient, be consistent. It doesn't matter what you got. Create something. Just be consistent at it. And consistent doesn't mean everybody always says like you gotta post 4 times a day, dude. Don't post 4 times a day, please, for the love of God. You're gonna burn yourself out so fucking quick.
I actually heard that somewhere. That, hey, three TikToks a day,
please.
I'm like, I can't do it, man.
Gary V. I don't know what kind of cocaine Gary V's on, dude. If he's putting out 4 TikToks a day, and if you want to make them high quality,
well, he's got a couple dollars in the couple, as you would say, a couple schmeckles.
He's got a couple schmeckles in the bank,
yeah. So he can pump out 3 TikToks a day,
100%. But are they quality TikToks?
Yeah,
we don't know, right? If you spend a lot of time on this TikTok and you have an idea and you write a script for it and you have this concept in mind, take the time. You know what I mean? That's something I don't do that I need to do more of. Is I need to take my time more, because I feel the pressure to post every day.
Yeah,
Tori's like, post every other day and just spend more time on those videos. You know what I mean?
Just make it better. Yeah,
just make it better.
Yeah,
not better and like just spend more time on it.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, if I spend more time on it, it doesn't get more views, then I'm just going to be even more sad. You know what I mean?
I gotta get another tattoo.
Yeah, I have to get another tattoo. Dude.
Yeah,
I have to get a neck.
Yeah, nobody can even see Seth's tattoos. Yeah, no one can see your sadness right now.
Yeah,
dude.
I got tattoos on this whole arm and this whole fucking bod.
Don't worry, the vlog comes out.
Yeah,
you'll see the tattoo.
Oh yeah, am I shirtless? Let's go. I don't want to become more sad, but no, I think like he's right. You know.
Yeah,
like Tori's right, and this posting, please do not post 4 TikToks a day, man. Like it's so unhealthy for your mental state.
Yeah, you're not even talking from like building a following. It might build you a following. It might not. Who cares? But from just that gets missed too. Is hey, keep your sanity.
Keep your sanity, dude.
Yeah,
like actually,
it's just like people go to a job 9 to 5. Keep your sanity there. Same thing with this. If you're making content, keep your sanity. That's one of the reasons, actually. I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it later. You keep going. What,
like,
advice wise?
Yeah, keep your sanity. Don't post 4 times a day. If you feel like you cannot do that, don't overwork yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not bad to overwork. It's not bad to have a good work ethic, but you'll notice when you overwork yourself that your content becomes more and more shitty.
Yeah.
Like, because you're like, oh, I hate doing this.
Oh,
I hate doing this shit.
That was before we went to Mexico.
Yeah.
That was 100% what I was doing. I was like, oh, I gotta put out more.
Yeah.
Like I'd get Zach to edit some, and I'd edit some. I mean, obviously mine looked like shit compared to Zach's, but I'm like, hey, it's content. It's content. It's content. It's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. You're gonna make yourself hate. Nobody wants to go to a job that they hate.
No.
Right? And I don't want to go to a job that I used to love and now hate.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to ever lose the love for what
yes. I was very curious about that. Is, like going from room to room, space to space. There must have been some love in that you were doing it, because that's a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
So you obviously liked what you're doing, or you seen potential in it enough to make yourself like what you were doing. So to do that, now you're at this stage, things are, I don't want to talk on the video like, hey, things are dropping off.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of experiencing the same thing of a little bit of a pullback for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It must be tough not to lose that love of doing it.
100%, but also like before this whole little pushback, dude, I've experienced way more pushback than this.
Oh, so this is awesome.
You know what I mean? Like,
are you talking like in your outside of social media life, or
just like moving from space to space? That's a lot of resistance, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have that love to keep creating content. So if you get if now you're doing it full time and you get a little pullback, you're like, man, I used to like move. I used to get a lot more pullback, and I still kept doing it. So I can keep doing it now.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I can keep doing it now.
Good for you, man. That I feel like that's a really good that clip in itself is almost a soundbite in itself. Like, hey, I faced worst resistance in the past.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, give me some time. You might not see me. I might not be at, let's say, the top, whatever that looks like. But give me some time. I'll figure it out.
And like that's another thing that I want to touch on is you're young, man. Like if you're creating, realize you got so much time. Like I'm 21 and I know I have a lot of time. I look at the people that are really successful now, in the fashion industry, and they're at a similar following that I'm at, and I watch these guys, and I'm like, I love the content they create, and they're doing it full time. Well, how old are they? 25. Oh, so they got 4 years on me.
And even to be 35,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
that's not that old.
No,
like. And I think in terms of perspective wise, for someone like you, from my perspective, knowing you personally, you're not, you like to have fun, you like to do whatever, but you aren't reckless in the way of something that's going to sacrifice what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which credit to you, because I'm going to guess a lot of 21, 18, 19, even 25-year-old, I'm 20. I keep my age secret.
Oh,
late 20s. It's easy to get caught up in things that distract you or pull you away from those things. And I credit to you in terms of, really, from what I see as someone who's actually with you a little bit outside of something like this, you do keep a good perspective. So I can only imagine at 25, 28, 35, what that looks like.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So even if of course there's going to be ups and downs.
Credit to how I was raised for that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
you got beaten, eh?
Yeah,
you got the shit kicked out of you. Nice, dude. That's awesome. No, that's really cool.
Yeah, man. You're young. You got time. You got a lot of time.
So if let's sum that up. Three quick.
Yeah.
3 quick spots. I know that stuff's always so cringe. Like the here's 3 tips, but
3 tips. Be patient. Be consistent. Can I give you 4?
Yeah, give me.
Be patient, be consistent, don't overwork yourself, and realize how much time you have.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I feel like that's a clip in itself. This, this is probably towards the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
But I feel like that by itself is probably massive. I know it's good advice for me too, like of getting into this world of, and I'll touch on it now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take away from your story, of your advice and all that stuff, but it's, coming from somebody who's not in their early 20s, not maybe a lot of my demographic. We grew up with kind of Facebook, but that's phasing out a little bit. Instagram was kind of introduced towards the end of like 18, 19. TikTok's very new for our generation. There is a lot of resistance. There is a lot of people saying, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Who do you think you are?" kind of thing. Why do you think you can give advice on anything? Which I think is sad in a way, because I think there's a lot of people. At first, maybe I thought in my head, like, well, why are you being so discouraging to me? And then it turned into one of those things of like, oh, like, do you think you don't have value to offer?
Right.
Like, even like business owners who are 60 years old.
Yeah.
Like, if you started a TikTok account and just had someone film you and cut it up,
yeah.
there's so much value to offer to people who are on these platforms. That's one thing that I'm really amazed by or really shocked by sometimes, where there is so much resistance. I'm like, hey, you do have something to offer. You have more to offer than I do. Get your name out there. I'm doing it. Like, how can I get you to do it?
Yeah.
Which is, that's tough at times, because you see people who are in these positions, and you're trying to do something good and you're trying to provide value, but you do face resistance, especially as you get older. I feel like from an older demographic, and I'm sure you felt that too, but it's really interesting. And I mean, I also love the resistance a little bit too. You're like, okay.
No,
I'm going to be 60 years old, and the market changes and all that stuff. But I just wish there was a way to communicate to maybe the older demographic that, hey, you have something to offer too.
Yeah.
Like the young guys do. You do too. If anything, you have more to offer.
100%.
Like let's get you out there and do it.
100%.
Yeah. What's your perspective on that? Even
my perspective on that is that's a crazy good point. Like the old guys like having a lot of things to offer. They just
so
don't,
much.
you know, like these guys that have run successful businesses, even in Morden, dude, like guys that are running really successful businesses, they're like, oh, what are you doing? But like,
we have a massive community of industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, even though our community is very small, there's a lot of money in our community in terms of like when the economy fluctuates, our economy in our area doesn't fluctuate because of the strength of the industry in our area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of professionals around here that are really good at what they do. And if they have a lot of value, you know, just like you have a lot of value and I have a lot of value and everybody's got value. It's just like whether you want to put it out there or not.
Yeah.
And if you got the guts to put it out there, you're better than the next guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, and I know what you mean by that too. Like you're even something like this, you're putting yourself at a risk.
Yeah.
You know, everybody who watches this podcast, you know, this one, the next one, goes to Seth's reels, goes to my reels, goes to this person's YouTube channel, checks out Zach's editing. It's all positions of putting yourself out there for people to say, hey, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, what you're doing is stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You should stop. It's a risk. It is a risk. And people might be like, hey, don't be sensitive to those kind of comments. But if someone walked up to you on the street and said, hey, Seth, you know what? Your fashion is so stupid. You're such an idiot. It still hurts.
Yeah.
Like it still hurts. So credit to all those people who, you know, old, young, whoever it is, who put themselves out there. That is a risk, and good for you for doing it, because it's a great way, and it's a way that some people are resistant to and some people love, to provide people value and information beyond your little circle.
Yeah. 100%.
I think
100%.
like I think it's a disservice to do the opposite.
Yeah.
If you have value to offer, which I think a lot of people do, and you have a resource to provide that value, I think it's a disservice to say, hey, no, I'm just going to hold on to that. 100%. I'm going to tell 4 of my family members and that's it. And everybody else is stupid.
Yeah.
I think. And I mean, what do I know? I'm a small guy in a big pond, but
dude, I have like a lot of questions for you and like your industry, but
is this part 2?
No, we're
gonna do part 2.
We might save it for part 2, but I'm gonna ask you one question, right? What, like, there's our industries are very much the same, and where they're both saturated, like a lot.
Oh yeah,
very, very saturated.
Yeah.
So like in the fitness industry, how old are the guys that are like pretty successful, would you say?
Ooh, that's tough, because there was there's kind of a fitness industry that blew up. I'm gonna say probably, I'm trying to date myself a little bit, but there was like an industry that blew up with people like there was first the magazine industry. Like, I mean, Arnold was one thing, but then there's the magazine industry that kind of faded away, and then there was like the introduction into YouTube content. So that's people like Steve Cook, Christian Guzman, Max Tuning, these big influencers that kind of blew up at the start of YouTube. So those guys are probably in their 30s now.
Yeah.
The majority of big influencers probably in their 30s, but now there's like a new wave of like 20-year-olds, like 20 to between 20 and 25, who have kind of popped up, and it's good. Like I don't mind the content that they're doing. Some of it can get a little bit cringy, but it's just not. I'm a little bit older, so I'm not going to relate to all of it. But the majority of it is much better than when I kind of came up into it. It's a lot more authentic. Whether you relate with it or you don't, at least it's that person, or it's perceived as that person. It's a little bit more authentic. But yeah, probably like early to mid 20s, and then 30 and up. 30 is probably the
You got time, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
you can.
Yeah, I'm like in my early 20s still, so I got tons of time.
Got a ton of time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, man, one thing I've found that I love and that I don't want to miss out on, and sometimes I get anxiety about, is I actually love the content creation side of things. I love things like this. I love things like YouTube, where you get to say, hey, it's not just, hey, this is what I know. It's like, hey, this is me. This is what I'm putting out there. At least you get that opportunity to be like, hey, if you don't like me, at least you don't like me.
Yeah.
Like, at least I said, hey, this is who I am. You got to see it. You got to see it in a little bit of a long form aspect. And then you get to make your decision. And if you don't like me from there, that's fair. I get it. Not everybody's going to like me.
100%.
But that either the photo or the short reel or the short TikTok, sometimes it's a little bit tough to be like, hey, this is you think I'm a piece of shit, but I gave you 30 seconds. Like, can I talk a little longer? That's I'm even the reels and stuff. I do love all that stuff. There's so much creativity into it, and I'm just getting into it. Like, I see your stuff, I'm like, man, that's another level. But it's a good time.
I'm gonna teach you the tips and tricks of CapCut, buddy.
Look out for this guy. He's about to blow up, baby.
I'm coming for you.
Awesome, man. Well, I think we did a good chunk of time. I don't know how long this has been, but I think this is a good podcast.
Say like hour and a half, probably. I'm gonna say maybe even 2 hours.
Yeah, man. I gotta pee, and I appreciate you being here. I think this is a good time. I look forward to doing more. Maybe a part 2 if people like this one. And
if you like this one,
we do more. Make sure you guys go check out Seth's Instagram page. Just look up what's your page?
Check out my Instagram. It's Seth_Froese, Froese.
And if you guys want a little bit more of his personality, which is pretty funny, go to my YouTube channel. You can just type in Pell Froese and you'll
check out my personality, the only one, dude. Yeah.
And I will give Seth credit. Like, he's great. You get to see his personality, and then if you compare that to his Instagram or his TikTok content, it's really it matches up really well. I think it does. So go check out his stuff. Go check out the YouTube channel, the reels, the Instagram, all of that. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate Seth being here, and
this has been a great time.
We'll do it again, man.
100%.
Sweet.